And following a string of promises in the aftermath of the bloody coup, Ukraine's interim Prime Minister has not managed to deliver on most of them since taking power. And as RT's Marina Kosarev has found out, he's ultimately backtracked on nearly all of them.
The self-proclaimed government in Kiev came to power banking on people's frustration over the collapsed EU deal.
If the EU agreement is not signed, then according to Article 111 of the Criminal Code, the president will get 10 to 15 years behind bars.
However, later, Arseniy Yatsenyuk had to backtrack on this.
We've postponed signing the economic section of this document due to concerns over the possible negative effect that entering the free trade area might have for industrial regions.
Easier said than done, apparently, once you have to actually analyze all the pros and cons. Looks like everyone's at odds in what's being called the new government in Ukraine, with contradictions reigning supreme. We heard promises from Kiev to join NATO and get as many weapons from member countries as possible.
A draft law on the resumption of the process of integration of Ukraine into NATO has been filed and recorded. Provide the maximum possible material and technical assistance in the form of modern military hardware and armaments.
Once again, something he had to take back.
In order to keep Ukraine undivided, we've decided to keep accession to NATO out of the agenda.
What about all those promises to ban the Russian language?
I don't want the Ukrainian youth to speak Russian. I want them to speak English. I will make this my top priority. I want them to travel to Europe. This is my assignment. No one's trying to take away your right to speak Russian. According to this law, in all regions dominated by Russian speakers, Russian shall be a regional and de facto official language, and it shall have the same rights as the Ukrainian language.
That was a quick 180 and in stark contrast with his previous convictions. A visa regime for Russians was announced for a few hours at one point.
Ukraine's National Security and Defense Council took a decision to introduce a visa regime with Russia,
only to be dismissed by Yatsenyuk the very next day.
Ukraine should not hurry with introducing a visa regime with Russia, and this move must be mature.
After almost a month in office, Yatsenyuk has failed to show what he's capable of other than threats, which he did not follow through on. And questions remain as to whether his long-term policies will be as volatile and as easy to take back as the ones we've seen so far. Marina Kosarev, RT.